Hey guys, I know I said I'm not gonna post, but I figured this is something that is really important to say. This isn't gonna be like an actual video, well it is, but this is a PSA because I think that this is something that's needed to be said for a while, and I really want you guys to spread the word of this. Self-image. I'm sure you guys have all heard that phrase before. You know, how you see yourself as, your body self-image, what you think of yourself. And then, there's either a negative or a positive, and you wouldn't want either of them to go too high on the spectrum, and here's why. If the negative self-body image goes too high, then you might fall into a depression or get really upset about things. And if your body image goes too high, then you're gonna try and use yourself to ridicule other people and give them a poor body image. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because I'm really noticing how notable this is in society. Society as a whole, everyone is starting to get offended by everything and having the need that they have to defend absolutely everything. Or some people feel that they joke around, but little do they know how, mean they're being to other people. So I think the best thing you can do, because, there will always be those people who are trying to ridicule you or screw you. I think what's better to teach than rather those bullies, because there's always going to be bullies, right? I think the better thing to teach is, the victims, teach the victims how to accommodate with that, and how to, teaching society as a whole how to accommodate with just letting things go. I do have a personal experience in this story. When I was very young, I was in elementary school. I was kind of a pushover, which means I kind of just let people walk all over me. I let them do whatever they want. And because of this, I was bullied. Kids took advantage of me many times. And they always told me what to do. They were rude. They treated me like I was pretty much nothing. And I just thought when I finally eventually got out of that school, and I just thought, I'm never going to let anyone do that to me ever again. Because every time I let anyone make my decisions for me, that's one less choice that I have to make myself. And I think that everyone has the entitlement to an opinion. But here's the thing, is that when I transferred schools, I noticed that I made one or two friends. And that's okay. And there's a couple of people who didn't like me that much. And that's okay too. And what I learned from that is you don't have to have everybody like you. Just a couple, at least, of really good people. And because of that, it made me realize that you don't need to have and seek approval from those who don't need approval. There are people out there, again, like I said, who will try and screw you over, and you don't need approval from them because they're just being all right jerks. I personally think that it's wrong what they're doing, and those aren't the types of people that you want to be friends with if you want to look for self-approval. And I learned that in my life. And I'm at the point now in my life where someone could say something mean to me and I'll shrug it off. Like, okay, and I'll shrug it off. So I don't even think much of it anymore because their opinion isn't valid enough for me to, appreciate it. Like if it's someone like my best friend tells me an opinion, it's like, okay, maybe I'll think about that. But if it's someone who's being a jerk, it's like, okay, why would I prioritize your opinion when you mean nothing to me? And that's what I learned. If someone doesn't mean anything to you, why would you prioritize their opinion? Right? Someone who's just an all-out jerk. So that brings me to the next question of why am I making this video? Some of you maybe have already figured it out, but the reason I'm implying my personal story is because I'm telling you I don't want to seem like a hypocrite who's just like, why can't you just do this easily? I didn't used to have the confidence that I do now. And with the confidence that I do now, I have all the assurance to say, don't let other people get to you. If someone is being mean or someone is trying to insult you, don't let them get to you. Because I'm not going to say out any names, but I have had a personal family member who's recently gone out and announced that someone, fat shamed them years ago, I think. And they were very upset about it, and it really hurt them. And just recently, they've learned to live and let go. And when you take a long time to live and let go, it takes away time that you could be spending not hating yourself. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because it is an actual fact that many of these kids that will get depressed from this may commit suicide. It is, and it's getting worse over the years. According to these statistics, it seems that most of them tend to be teenagers. And anyone who's a teen who is watching this, because I know that's pretty much my target demographic, teens and kids, you should definitely learn before it could get hazardous. And I gotta say, for people 16 to 19, in 2009, 10% of them were getting depression. And now, as of maybe not recent, but as of 2017, 15% of the population of 16 to 19-year-olds are getting depression. And then this leads to, the next one of, March 2020, about, 11% of 16 to 39-year-olds were, experiencing symptoms of depression. And then as of June 2020, 31% of people 16 to 39 are getting depression. And I think that these signs are really scary as they're moving up, and these can lead to somewhat of the suicide rates. So let's take a look at that. Now, this can often lead to a lot of the suicide rates going up, and for those of you who don't know what that is, this is the really sad thing, when a lot of people feel that they have to kill themselves, whether they feel like they're worthless, or they feel they have nothing to do on this earth, or they're just really sad and they want their lives to be over. And I'm not going to go into the graphic details, because I know that there's kids watching. If you want to research it, feel free to research it on your own. But I'm not responsible for whatever pops up in your research. Anyways, so on to the stats. We see that many of the suicide groups tend to be 75 and up, and most of them tend to be men, which is quite interesting. But I think it's good that it decreases, as the younger people get, but it goes from 15%, from 15 to 24-year-olds committing suicide, all the way to maxed out at 22% for 75 and up. And then you go over to, the next one, where seeing the suicide rates over the years, starting at 1950, it's less than 100 per year. And then now in 2000 and whatever comes after that, over 200, and maybe now even 300 suicides a year, which is really scary, as it's going up in a crazy rate. And nowadays, you gotta watch out for this stuff, because I've heard many stories of people who have unfortunately committed suicide, and some of them even being teens, because they're depressed and they don't know what to do with themselves. Now, bringing it around full circle, what do I take from this video? Well, first of all, copy the link, share it to as many people as you think are dealing with this problem. And not only that, but also, it's also good to take away don't let other people change your image of yourself. Because if you do, unfortunately, you could be one of those statistics. And even more unfortunately, it could be the suicide one. And I really don't want anybody to commit suicide, especially my viewers. I mean, I try and make happy content because the world is so depressing right now. It's like the one thing that keeps me happy, and I really hope that it keeps you guys happy too. So that's basically the takeaway. Just don't let other people get to you. Be true to yourself, and don't be afraid to say, look, I don't value your opinion. Anyways, I hope you take this message and spread it around to as many people as you can, whether you share them the video or you just tell them this message, because it is very important. And I hope the rest of you guys have a very nice day. Bye, everybody.